Most people think control looks like force, rules, restrictions, pressure. But the most effective forms of control rarely feel like control at all. They feel like comfort. The strange thing is that the harder modern life tries to make everything easier, the more dependent you quietly become. And dependency creates something most people never notice: leverage. Because the moment your peace depends on something external, that thing gains power over you. Which may explain why some of the freest people alive are not the ones who have the most. They are the ones who need the least. And that is why extreme minimalists are becoming harder to control. The Roman Stoics understood something that modern culture quietly forgot. Freedom is not measured by what you can access. It is measured by what you can remain at peace without. For centuries, philosophers approached this truth from different directions. Epictetus warned that the person who ties their well-being to external things eventually becomes vulnerable to those things. Henry David Thoreau observed that wealth is measured less by what you own than by what you can afford to leave alone. And long before the language of self-improvement existed, thinkers across history kept arriving at the same uncomfortable conclusion: every dependency creates a condition for your peace. Today, those conditions are everywhere. Not because modern life is evil, because modern life is incredibly effective. It removes friction, eliminates waiting, reduces discomfort, provides endless stimulation. And at first, that sounds like progress. But every convenience carries a hidden psychological trait. Because when a person loses the ability to tolerate minor discomfort, they begin searching for relief before they begin searching for understanding. Pause for a moment. You can see this almost everywhere now. A slow internet connection feels strangely personal. 5 minutes of silence feels longer than it used to. A moment of boredom immediately triggers the urge to reach for something. Anything. A screen. A notification. A distraction. Not because these things are inherently harmful, but because dependence rarely announces itself as dependence. It introduces itself as preference. And by the time you notice the difference, a surprising amount of your emotional stability may already be living outside of you. That is where extreme minimalism becomes far more interesting than most people realize. It is not simply the removal of possessions. It is the investigation of dependency. And the question hiding underneath it is far more unsettling than how much do I own? It is, how many things have gained access to my peace of mind? The problem is not that modern life gives you too much. The problem is that it quietly teaches you to need too much. Not necessarily more possessions, more reassurance, more convenience, more stimulation, more certainty, more emotional comfort. And every time a need becomes a necessity, a new form of leverage is created. This is why control has changed so dramatically throughout history. In the ancient world, power often relied on force. Today, influence operates through attention, desire, convenience, and habit. The most effective systems rarely demand obedience. They cultivate dependency, because a dependent mind will often volunteer what a free mind would resist. Think about your own day. How often do you experience an uninterrupted moment? A moment without music, without a screen, without information, without the instinct to fill the silence. Not because you are weak, because modern life has become extraordinarily skilled at convincing you that every empty space requires something to occupy it. And that creates a strange paradox. The more connected people become, the more difficult solitude feels. The more entertainment becomes available, the less boredom becomes tolerable. The more comfort expands, the lower the threshold for discomfort becomes. Abundance can sometimes reduce resilience. The Stoics understood this long before algorithms, smartphones, and endless feeds existed. Epictetus repeatedly warned that attachment is rarely visible while you possess the thing itself. You only discover the strength of the attachment when it is threatened, interrupted, or removed. That is why extreme minimalism asks a question most lifestyles never ask. Not what adds value to your life. What has quietly become too important? And that question can be unsettling, because many of the things controlling modern life do not look dangerous. They look normal, which means the greatest challenge is not escaping obvious chains. It is recognizing the invisible ones. The chains we defend are often the hardest to see. This is where extreme minimalism begins separating itself from ordinary self-improvement. Most self-improvement asks, what can you add? A better routine, a better habit, a better system, a better version of yourself. Extreme minimalism asks a far stranger question. What if some of your problems survive because there is too much standing between you and reality? Too many distractions, too many desires, too many conditions attached to your peace. Because every condition creates vulnerability, and vulnerability creates leverage. That is why some of the most influential philosophers in history were surprisingly suspicious of comfort. Not because they believed suffering was noble, but because they understood something modern culture rarely discusses. The more things you require in order to feel okay, the more fragile your peace becomes. Epictetus understood this. Thoreau understood this. Even Diogenes pushed this idea to an almost absurd extreme. When he watched a child drink water with his hands, he reportedly threw away his cup. Not because cups are evil, because he was constantly asking himself the same question. What can be removed without diminishing life? Sit with that for a moment. Modern culture often assumes freedom comes from expanding your options. More choices, more access, more possessions, more opportunities. Yet history repeatedly presents a different possibility. Some forms of freedom emerge through subtraction. A person who needs constant validation can be manipulated through approval. A person who needs status can be manipulated through comparison. A person who needs comfort can be manipulated through discomfort. A person who needs distraction can be manipulated through boredom. Every dependency creates a handle, and the world is full of hands eager to grab it. This does not mean you must reject technology. Reject convenience. Reject pleasure. That would miss the point entirely. The deeper question is whether you still possess the ability to function peacefully without them. Because there is a profound difference between enjoying something and depending on it. One expands freedom, the other quietly mortgages it. And perhaps this is the hardest challenge of all. Many dependencies do not feel restrictive while they are being satisfied. The phone works. The entertainment is available. The comfort remains uninterrupted. Everything feels normal, until life removes one piece. Then suddenly anxiety appears. Irritation appears. Restlessness appears. And in that moment, something hidden becomes visible. You discover that what felt like a preference had become a requirement. And requirements have power over us in ways preferences never do. And this is where the conversation becomes uncomfortable. Because the goal of extreme minimalism was never to remove things from your life. The goal was to discover which things had quietly become your masters. That is a very different pursuit. Most people assume freedom means having the power to do whatever they want. But throughout history, philosophers often defined freedom differently. Freedom was not the ability to satisfy every desire. Freedom was the ability to remain undisturbed when desires could not be satisfied. That distinction changes everything, because suddenly the question is no longer, what do I possess? It becomes, what possesses me? Pause there. You may own your phone, but can you sit through an entire evening without reaching for it? You may enjoy comfort, but can you remain peaceful when comfort disappears? You may appreciate approval, but can you tolerate misunderstanding without immediately defending yourself? The answer to those questions reveals more about freedom than almost anything you own. What disturbs you controls you. That was the insight hidden beneath Stoicism, hidden beneath Thoreau, hidden beneath extreme minimalism, and perhaps hidden beneath every philosophy that ever took freedom seriously. Because the person who requires little from the world gains something extraordinary. Not superiority, not perfection, independence, the kind that cannot be purchased. The kind that cannot be upgraded. The kind that remains intact when circumstances change. And maybe that is why extreme minimalists are becoming harder to control. Not because they own fewer possessions. Not because they reject modern life. But because they are slowly removing the conditions attached to their peace. And every condition removed is a piece of freedom recovered. The moment less can disturb you, less can control you. Maybe that is the final irony. Modern life promised freedom through abundance. More options, more convenience, more comfort, more stimulation. And yet so many people feel exhausted by maintaining all the things that were supposed to make them feel free. Because freedom was never simply about having access. It was about having independence. The Stoics understood this. Thoreau understood this. And extreme minimalism arrives at the same realization from another direction. Not by asking what you can acquire, by asking what you can release. Because every unnecessary dependency removed creates a little more space inside your life. A little more clarity, a little more resilience, a little more peace. And perhaps the most valuable form of wealth is not what you can accumulate. It is what you no longer need. The person who needs less carries fewer conditions for happiness. And fewer conditions create a quieter kind of freedom. Not the freedom to control life. The freedom to stop being controlled by it. So before you leave, I want to leave you with a question. Not what could you buy? Not what could you improve? Not even what could you achieve? But what could you remove without diminishing your life? Sit with that, because your answer may reveal more about your freedom than anything you own. And if this video made you rethink even one dependency you've quietly accepted as normal, let me know in the comments. What is one thing that has more influence over your peace of mind than you realized? And if you're interested in exploring extreme minimalism, stoicism, intentional living, and the hidden psychology behind modern life, subscribe to Serenityism. Because sometimes the most powerful transformation does not begin by adding something new. It begins the moment something unnecessary loses its power over you.